Alex. I'll be the one interviewing you. I have a Instagram and also YouTube, so I want to thank you for coming here and interviewing with me.
Of course. No,
Oh,
happy to.
thank you.
And then usually when I do an interview with multiple people, usually one person decides to go first. I'll let you guys argue over who wants to go first. I'm fine with whatever.
Splinter,
Ideal.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
One, two, three. One,
Damn
two.
you.
Yeah, I know you did. It
You
looks like
win.
I'm going first.
Yeah,
Oh,
you go
no.
for you answer first.
So the first question I ask any band I ever interview is, how's it going? Because we want to get the interview started on a good footing.
Yeah, good. How are you? Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. I love doing interviews, so this is a great day for me.
Yeah, no, all's going really well. It feels like it's been forever that we've been working on this release, both writing, recording, and preparing for the actual release. But it's going really well. Everybody's really excited now. We're getting to the latter stages of release. Things are starting to pick up quite a lot. So yeah, no, everything's going really well. We're in a good place, both professionally and personally as a band. So it's good. We're excited.
Awesome. And then how about you? How is it
Oh,
going with you?
yeah, no, pretty much the same to be honest. Yeah, we've been because it's probably been the past 12 months that we've been doing the planning for this release in July. And like the past couple of months, or probably past 6 months, we've been um, solely focusing on getting the singles out and making sure that like they land as well as possible. And now all that's done, it's the only thing we've got left now is get the album out, and then we can start to do what we love best, which is playing live gigs.
For sure. Live gigs are always fun.
Yeah.
It
So I have to
helps.
ask, how are you guys feeling about the upcoming release? Are you excited, nervous, a little bit of both?
There's a yeah, it's there's an excitement. Look, excitement and nerves end up feeling the same anyway, and it's definitely excitement. We've worked on this. Might have been a 12-month project, but it's been years in the making. We're extremely proud with what we've done. It took a lot of hard work, but it needed it. And I feel like this is the best representation of this band and in terms of us musically that we could have produced at this point. So no, we're really excited. The MNRK guys have been incredible with us from day one, supporting us, developing us. So we're really excited, and it's funny because we're all a little bit longer in the tooth than maybe some other bands, as you can tell by my wrinkles. But it feels like this is the platform now that we've been waiting for, that we've been working for a long time. So it does feel like, even though it's 12 months in the making, this is the starting point that we can really, really, kick on from. So a lot of excitement, a little bit of nerves, but definitely mostly excited and proud.
Oh yeah, I agree. Fully agree. Fully agree.
You agree with the wrinkles part too, or just everything else?
Oh, absolutely. No, no, I know. I'm the youthful one of the band, so no. I've got a few more grey hairs. That's
Youthful.
about it.
There's youthful. It's only by a couple of years. Don't get wrapped into that. And to be honest, the only thing he's got over us all is his hairline. That's it.
So besides the album, I know you said it's been like, it feels like it's only been, 12 months, but it's been like years in the making. What was the hardest thing about creating this album?
I mean, I hate to say the C word, but we started writing some of this during COVID. Um, we released an EP during COVID. Um, and we did that really for our own sakes to stop us from going insane. But um, that the hardest part, I suppose, is actually what was really good, what I've loved about this album is that this is we've really pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone, all of us musically, individually. We really progressed as musicians. And as a band years ago, we always said, whatever we do, we have to push ourselves. And this album, we really focused on songwriting, not just performance. So not how
Mhm.
well you can play a riff or how low you can get in a guttural and all that kind of jazz. How is the song? The song is the most important element of it. And how would somebody feel listening to that? So we did a lot of work demoing and learning how to demo really well in the studio and working, I suppose, more smart in terms of how we produce a song rather than there was no jamming involved in this album. And I know that's sometimes a dirty phrase to say there was no jamming, but there was a song structure, then jam it out. And I just think we refined how we wrote this album. And the hardest thing, I suppose, was pressure as well. We felt like we need to really, really nail this. And we're all a big fan of an album rather than just individual songs that are stuck together. Um, so that was a real focus of ours. Does it tell a story? Do the lyrics tell a story? Does the music flow like a story? So we really worked hard to refine this piece of music. Um, and that was probably the hardest part. Was like I'd never done cleans before
Mhm.
on a record, so pushing myself to do cleans on a record was quite nice. No, it wasn't. It was horrible, but it was good.
You know, I think I think I think for me it was the planning, having to, because we'd done EPs and singles before. It's been a while since we've done a full album, and when we started the partnership with Monarch, they really wanted us to do a full album. And when we got into it, it was it was the planning aspect. It was getting back into the mindset of we've got to write an album, which means writing more songs than you actually need and get it
Mhm.
all done in time so that we can meet the deadlines of the label and get it all out. And thankfully, we all worked really well together. Monarch were really supportive. We had plenty of time. We got all the people that we wanted. But yeah, it was pressure, but it was good pressure, and that was that was the interesting bit for me anyway.
I think this was the first time we've looked at um, the the demands as a challenge that's positive as well. Not
Mhm.
there was no negativity about it. We took the challenge as a positive, and everybody really stepped up to the plate as well with that.
Well, that's awesome. It sounds like you guys really got it together and became closer and better because of this album.
No, I hate
Yeah,
him. Outstanding.
yeah, you say like that, do you know what is weird? Because as Daz just said, before this, we used to jam. So we have our own rehearsal space, and we used to always go in there. We used to share ideas together, and we used to like create songs that way. And this one was a bit more detached. We used my house as a base, and everybody would come around at different times, and we'd put things down in a real like controlled way. But it was more isolated. The difference was that it actually did bring us all together a lot more. Um, we were sharing ideas through our WhatsApp group, and it just sort of I don't know, it just kind of like kept on spurring us on because we were constantly throwing out new ideas, and the creativity was really flowing, and we would like there was no egos. So if something wasn't working, it wasn't working, and we just went on moved on to the next thing, and it worked for us. It really really worked for us, and it's definitely enhanced us and brought us together more.
Well, that's awesome. Usually, like that either is a make or break of bands. Either you come closer together or you get more apart.
Yeah, yeah.
So, for those who haven't heard the album yet, how would you describe it to someone who hasn't heard of you before or someone who is a fan?
I would say if you're into the kind of modern melodic death metal, deathcore, that kind of thing, you'll like it. I hope. Um, I would say the whole album is not written to be just standalone tracks. Everything we do is for a purpose. It's not screaming for screaming's sake. The lyrics, from my perspective anyway, the lyrics are real. There's no rubbish in there. I've lived it. I've experienced it. And I was lucky to be able to get it down when it did. Um, it's an eclectic mix, but it makes sense. Um, but for me, it's a very honest album. It's honest, polished, yet still raw. And it has just it's balanced. I sound like I'm talking about some kind of meat produce or something silly, but it's really balanced, and we're a very genuine band. The band itself, in terms of the music, we've never tried to pretend we're something we're not. We've always tried to push ourselves, and something we even touched on the last question is we are very close. And I actually think whenever anybody sees us live or hears the album or, gets to meet us, they can see that genuinely we are a very close band. We're a bit long in the tooth and we know we know how each other ticks very well. So yeah, if you're into that modern deathcore sound, you like something that has a little bit of everything but makes sense. It's not just jumbled together. We're you guys.
Do you know what? I read someone who'd listened to the album in the past couple of weeks.
Mhm.
One thing they said, especially because they knew our back catalogue, and they said the one thing that we do quite well, and this album's no excuse, is that we're genre splitting. You can't no one's ever been able to pigeonhole us into one area, and I think this album is is a prime example of how we've done that because it's a mixture of everything. I think anybody who enjoys any type of metal will find something that they'll enjoy in it, and I think they'll be surprised. They'll find some stuff that maybe they shouldn't like because of their taste, and they'll actually like it because it's done differently.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, another good thing about different sounds is, like you said, you have something for everyone, so everyone will find something on it that they like.
Yeah, yeah.
Perhaps not if they're into EDM or, or that kind of thing. Although I love it, I don't think it's yeah, it's not your thing.
You never know. So I know you said like the album is real and there's like something on here for everyone. Is there like a theme that people will see in this album?
Um, yeah, there is pure emotion in this album in every instrument as well. I mentioned earlier that we don't do things for doing sake. We don't try and do it to show off. You know, I that really gets under my skin if I feel like the song's being sacrificed to try
Hmm.
and highlight someone's proficiency at playing guitar or doing a certain type of scream, whatever it may be, or a bass, um, or a drum. But um, for me, um, this album it is real. It's about the human condition. Turin, the unforgiving reality in nothing. The moment when somebody realizes that hope is lost, and how do you go searching for hope and dealing with the things that make you feel hopeless? On a personal level, um, I suppose I was to turn a negative into a positive. I was lucky to have the opportunity to write lyrics for this album in a particularly difficult time for myself. I say particularly very. Um, and, it sends chills when I read the lyrics because I realize quite how desperate things were getting. Um, but the music, the lyrics, they, they're real and they mean something. Yeah, it's really about you as a human. It's about the band as well. We were called This Is Turin for years, but we feel like this is us. We don't go half-hearted with anything. It's going to have to be real. And I think if people listen to certain tracks, maybe read the lyrics at the same time, they'll realize how real it is.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, there's nothing I can add on to that. Like music wise, yeah, we put a lot into it, but we all recognise how much of an effort like Daz put into sort like the lyrics and making sure it's meaningful and making sure that there was realistic themes in the songs, and that, you know, it wasn't just writing lines for the sake of it. Every bit of the album, going from the artwork to the title to the track titles to the lyrics to the way that the music's structured. The last track on the album as well is just a homage to everything that we've done over the past 20 years. I think we've been together.
Yeah, I'd say what's really interesting. One key date really sticks in my mind, and that was when it was it was after COVID, of course, because we all sat around Splinter's lovely kitchen bar, and we were sat there. The Splinters James, sorry, and we sort of had that, like any business would. We had that conversation of going, we've never sat down and really gone, what do we want to do and why, and what's our mission statement. And I remember us all sat there and deciding what we wanted. And, one of the things we loved, probably that we moved away from, because death metal can be very, I am breaking down this and that and all this kind of stuff. And we were like, when we sing about stuff that's real, or sing, when we play about something that's real and means something to people, we feel like we're more connected. And the bands we're into do that. And that was a real, it was a real point of saying, well, let's make it feel as real as we used to and always have done. And that was the focus of the album. So actually, before we even wrote a track, we had a mission statement of what we wanted to deliver for this album. And I think I truly believe the end product shows that.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, most companies do that, so it's good that you guys got together and figured out what you wanted to do as a band.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the same kind of salary that they do at certain certain multinational corporations. But yeah, we'll do a mission statement and then we'll hire and fire as we need to.
So this is just kind of a fun question, but what do you both predict will be the fan favorite on the album? No pressure.
Probably Abyssal. Abyssal's good. Abyssal I rate, but it'll probably be the dead time between tracks. Abyssal, there isn't any dead time, by the way. We've been really focused on that. On the vinyl, we have to be super focused. Abyssal or the title track, The Unforgiving Reality and Nothing.
I think realistically, I think Hopeless Solutions, which we released recently, I think that's going to rear its head again. I think because it's just wall to wall. But if I'm being selfish, I Am the Truth, because that's my favorite, because I wrote it.
Not by
What's good is we didn't write any B-sides on this. This is like we literally had so many ideas that were recorded, which is different to us. It used to be write a track, jam a track, get it out. This one. So I listen to tracks and I try to take my ear away from it for the last couple of weeks. I've not listened to it on purpose, just so I can get fresh ears, because I'm sick of hearing my voice. But
Aren't we all?
yeah, thanks, man. Cheers for that. But I think any given week, my opinion of each track kind of changes of which order they are in my favourite. So I'm saying Abyssal because I'm buzzing off that track at the moment. But which is good. Which is good. I don't think any are rubbish at the moment, so that's ideal, isn't it?
For sure. So for this album, I know you said like you gave your fan favorites, but what do you hope that fans take away from this album?
Whatever they need to for them. Whatever they need to for them. Every lyric I write means something to me, but I
Hmm.
always like to make sure it means whatever it needs to be for that individual. I hope they take away that there's feeling and emotion in every single note on that album, and that we appreciate the situation and the circumstances we're in, and that we've got an opportunity and that we're actually pushing hard for it. So I just want people to take away whatever it means to them. And if it can help one person just to go, I get that, I feel that, then, for me personally, that's everything.
I think
That was
I
great.
I will I will be happy if I get one person who says it was worth the wait because it's been so long since we've kind of done something as big as this. I hope people realize that it's been worth the wait because this new brand that we've got, this new style of music, the new sound, it's unlike anything we've done before. So as long as people appreciate the fact that it's been worth hanging around, I'll be happy.
That's awesome. Well, I think I listened to it the other day. I thought it was great. So I think people are going to be really excited when they hear it for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I did want to quickly touch on this album cover. Is that either one of your hands or how did that kind of come about?
So all the artwork, there's a theme throughout it. And in the every track has a different type of artwork as well. The
Mhm.
artwork is also included in every sense in the actual product because for us, you know, I'm not going to. We were there when you used to get super excited about a product, an actual physical product. It be a the old digipack CDs or the gatefold vinyls. And for me and for everybody else, it meant so much that that experience is there if somebody wants it. So we wanted, if we're doing a journey with the music, and if there has to be a journey with the artwork as well. So everything we've done is around, the beauty of life, but also um,
Mhm.
how life can decay and it can be difficult as well. But we've kept it thematically very, very similar because the tracks are, although there's slight differences, the same as the artwork.
Yeah. So it's like I when we had the actual album out with us, so the hands, like the
Mhm.
first thing that really came to mind is like it's almost like the beauty in nothing because it's like it's such a I think it's quite like a beautiful photo because it's been shot really well. But I also think that the impression that the artist put on with the flowers growing out of the wounds, I think it's like there's a beauty in loss and there's a beauty in the negative side of things because you can hit rock bottom, but the only way is to go back up, and you got to flip you got to flip it around. So on the when you look, and the woman as well, having a face smeared across, she's got barbed wire around her neck, but actually she's, it's quite a beautiful silhouette of a lady. I
Mhm.
think look at the hands. If you look at it initially, you think I'm not like the hands are dirty. Oh my god, like there's wounds in it. But when you look really closely, that's quite a beautiful picture. And I think it just adds that little extra depth into it's not just a graphic scene of hell with demons ripping guts out and things like that. It's actually a thoughtful photo with some like considered depth in it.
Yeah,
When you're scarred or dirty, and when you're weathered, doesn't that's beautiful because you've gone through it.
I love that. I love that metal music usually has like, like there's depth to it, like it's deep. And I think a lot of other people can appreciate that too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have one last question for you guys. Is there any message that you'd like to give to your old fans, anyone who's interested in listening to this album or seeing you guys live? Just kind of like you're trying to be able to say whatever you want to your fans.
Thank you. If you have been with us for some years and stuck with us, we've had people that have been travel from ridiculous places to come and see us. We are back. We're better than ever, but we're humble and we are a band that will do anything and everything to make this work. The music is by far the best we've delivered. It's by far the most thought through, and it is the absolute most emotional pieces of music that we've delivered. If you haven't heard us before, get listening, get used to it. This is just the beginning. And if you are a fan of, what I said before in terms of, progressive, modern, death metal, metalcore, deathcore, get on it. And you'll find a band that you'll find appreciate you.
Well said. Very well said. I don't think I can add much more to that. The only thing that springs to my mind is if you think we put effort into this, you should see what we're putting into our live shows.
That was beautifully said, like you said. And for anyone else who's interested, the album, The Unforgiving Reality and Nothing, does come out on July the 12th from MNRK Heavy, and you guys should definitely check it out. And
thank you so much for your time, Alex. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys both for taking your time for doing this interview with me. And then once I put it up, I usually will tag you guys on Instagram so you can share it or, take a look at it. Be like, oh, that was awesome.
Hey, brilliant. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you both and enjoy the rest of your, I'm assuming, afternoon.
Evening. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it and hope to see you soon, okay?
All right. Take care.
All right. Cheers, Alex. Bye.